fucking slow going with this thing. I was just at home up in the back cave thinking about how much more interesting the stuff I can't talk about is in my life than the stuff I can talk about. Because, like, a long time ago, I talked about how in this country, their idea is that the most fucking scary thing, the most dangerous thing in the country, or what they want people to think, like, and stuff, are domestic teas, white teas, Christian teas. And I think you know what I mean by the letter T. I just don't want to say the word. You hear this a lot from the mainstream media, like, you know, even secondary media. Like, the biggest problem in the country is this, and Christians, and, you know, the FBI had put some, they put some agents into some Orthodox Christian churches to try to, I don't know, to try to do what, I don't know, but it came out in a court case for a completely different thing. They found that they had placed assets, people pretending to be Christians, practitioners, Christian partition. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just, articulation machine needs to get kicked a little bit. But they're having trouble finding people to fit this threat that they're telling people is out there. And these agencies have a budget to do this shit, and there are guys assigned to do this shit, where it's their job to produce these people, to find these people, you know. And there's not many of them, you know. There's not many or any of them. How you doing, man? Oh, later? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go. And they just don't really exist. I mean, I don't know how they would find people like that. So if they can't find people like that, the next best thing is to create people like that. And we're going to continue that line of thought once I get out of the store here. So yeah, like I was saying, in lieu of these people actually existing, they have to make them. Now, in the past, we've seen these agencies using actual retarded people to loop them in to getting busted as one of these kind of people. I did a video about it once where I showed all these different stories where these letter agencies, you know, they have a quota for this kind of stuff. They need to get T's. They just talk to these literally retarded people, and some people that were really heavily autistic, hard on the spectrum. They cajole them into meeting the requirements of what these things are, so they can then bust them and get credit for it. So these people are evil. They'll stoop to anything to make this stuff happen. Like I said, agencies have a budget for it, not just at a federal level, but at a state level. Okay, which brings us to here. Now, the thing about here is we have a mostly transient population, as far as, I mean transient like homeless people, although there are a lot of homeless people. I mean, people come and go. You know, we get 10 million people a year come through here, and they don't stay. So, I mean, you have only a limited pool of citizens to kind of choose from. How you doing, man? Have a good day. And so they look at things like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. How you been?
I'm off to work.
How you been? You up to work? Nice to see you. What happened? You lost your phone or something?
No, I didn't. My phone?
I thought you lost it.
Stolen.
Yeah, oh, that's it. That's what happened. Because we don't hear from you, like,
At the bodega.
what happened to
Where
Cheeto?
is Sonia?
She's over here. She's over here. She's at work right now.
When are they stopping?
Oh, they're stopping, hold on. I'm going to turn this off for a second. Hang on a second. I'm glad God put Cheeto in my path back there. Because it gave me a minute to think about what the fuck I was talking about. And what a bad idea it would be to continue talking about that. I'll just say Sun Tzu, The Art of War. I've never read it, but, you know, I know some of the bullet points. Cheeto is from Africa, which I'm glad she doesn't know I have a channel because I'm complaining about Africans every other episode lately. But she's from Zimbabwe, and man, that sounds like a crazy place. A few months back when we had a plumbing problem, we stayed at her house for a little while. She got a nice apartment, and I guess her roommate's moving out. So we were talking about moving with her. But it's scary because I haven't had a roommate since, like, I don't know, I was in my 20s. But yeah, her place is really nice, and she's very cool. She's a very, very hardcore Christian. She knows way more about the Bible than I do. And in fact, she got me to reevaluate my thoughts on God of the Old Testament actually being Satan. Now, I mean, the reason I think that is just because of what's written in the book itself. You know, they talk about his snout, him having a wingspan. He's at the tabernacle in the middle of the desert that they have to keep bringing fucking goats and shit to. It's like, what's going on there? And just the haughtiness and the way he talks, and I'm God, you can't say that to me, like that kind of stuff. So what her take is that, well, when he came back in the flesh as his son, Jesus, which he's also God, I'm not hung up on that. I don't understand how that works, but maybe we're not meant to. I'm just going to roll with it. When he came back in human form, he got a better understanding of the human condition. And let's not jaywalk here. Fucking, there's people wait for me to jaywalk. Fall out of the trees. It's what it seems like, man, because that's what happens sometimes. If I was with Nia and she wanted to jaywalk, I'd probably do it because they would let me go, because I'd be with the Nation girl. But on my own, no way. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty good idea or concept, that he once he understood the human condition by being in a human body, he acted differently. I don't know. Who knows? And no one really knows, because, you know, I read the Bible, I read passages, it talks to me, you know. And I know other Christians would say this is divination, which is fine, because divination is fine, but I'll open the book and I'll start reading a passage, and that passage, or whatever it's saying in the Bible at the time I open it, will answer questions that I have, or talk to something that's happening directly in my life. I've done videos about it before. So as far as I'm concerned, settled science. But yeah, we don't know the origins of it. You have to use your spiritual shit test. There are things in there that ring true to me. And I think there has to be some truth in there. You know, the way they play these fucking games, these spiritual war games, they have to give you some of the good shit. You know, they have to pass that book down. But they can edit the shit out of it, I think, aside from the words of Jesus. I have a book called Jesus in Red, which actually looks pretty evil. And they mention that in the foreword too. They're like, no, the color red is usually, you know, where this book may look a little, I forget what word they use, but yeah, it looks like a fucking, you know, it doesn't look like a holy book. But anyway, what it does is, Jesus in Red, it separates all his words from the Bible and just has his words. They take everything else out. So I think all that stuff is real. And he talks in a lot of riddles, you know. There are Christians that will say, no, it's absolutely literal. No. He was hiding the truth in there. You know, I think, and I don't know if maybe they can even change, not what he's saying, but substitute words. You know, you always see like the original Hebrew text. There was no original Hebrew text. It wasn't originally in Hebrew. It was in Greek. How do you have a fucking carpenter that lives in the fucking desert? How does that work? Just think about it sometimes, you know? But anyway, she's from Zimbabwe, and man, that sounds like a wild place. I talked about how she mentioned the SA thing, the grape thing, how it's just such a part of life. It's such a normal part of life. It's not looked at as the way it is here in the Western world, you know, in the first world. They have billboards there that try to talk men out of doing it. And there's a lot of reasons why they do it. Well, just for regular urges, but on top of that, they think some people, if you do that to a child, it's supposed to cure you of AIDS. I don't know. I would say, usually I'd say like, maybe it does, but AIDS doesn't, well, I don't know if I can say it. Can I say that? I know YouTube's watching me hardcore lately. People have said that it may not even be a real thing. People have said that, not me, because it's absolutely a real thing. You know? Dr. Fauci, of a couple of years ago, he was the guy behind all the studies in the 1980s about that situation. So, you know, he's on the up and up. He wouldn't create something that doesn't exist so that he could give you something else to treat the thing that doesn't exist that would kill you. Why is it only all gay men? Why were they only getting it? Well, were they getting this disease, or were they just the ones getting the treatment? How does fucking disease know if you get it? The whole thing's stupid. It's fucking dumb. But anyway, yeah, God put her in my path. He's put her on my path a couple times, you know, with stuff. And I don't know. It was good that she came up because it gave me a second to think about what I was talking about. Yeah, just to say, some of the stuff that's happened to me here, and that still kind of goes on. I had a person in the comments not too long ago saying, "Oh, I see you still calling yourself a TI," because they were putting me, this particular reviewer was putting me on the spot before, saying, well, what have you experienced in TI? And if you are someone like that, you probably want to keep the information you have to yourself. So I really can't, I really don't like to talk about that kind of stuff here. Sun Tzu. Now, it makes me think that this person, the commenter here, and I know this is getting into a new level of schizo, but I think they work for them to see what I know, to get me to spill. I don't know, that's what I think about that. Again, we're on the second, maybe third level of schizo, which is appropriate because we are now in Schizo Garage. And that is also a signal that it's time for me to go inside and finish the house project I had going up in the back here. So, until next time, thanks for dropping by. And as always, don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.
What uppity? I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. I can play your videos in the background while I'm typing anyway, because I have my little